It's another beautiful evening right here, and it's so good to have you join us on the desk. On the desk this evening, we'll be looking at some major headlines. What are the papers saying? Well, we are going to be doing an analysis, giving the headlines different perspective on the desk this evening. As a matter of fact, it's no longer news that the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, has been expelled from the People's Democratic Party. Long ago, we heard of anti-party activities immediately after the 2023 election. As if that wasn't enough, even before the convention got started, he has said they need to see them, all right? Everyone knows that there are factions in the People's Democratic Party, but then the court injunction stopping the convention until it held after the last one from Lamido is a big story that we need to talk about today, and it's on the headlines. Apart from that, we will also look at the issue of terrorism in the country, the issue of negotiation, accusations, and so many things coming up. Even until yesterday, we still had of kidnapping happen around Nigeria. Apart from that, there's so many things on the headlines today that we need to talk about. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. We're going on a quick break, and after this break, we will return. And of course, I have two gentlemen joining me on the conversation right here on the desk today. The desk continues after this break. Stay with us. As a matter of fact, we are back, and of course, I told you I have two gentlemen joining me, but then I'm calling them gentlemen if we get started and the conversation doesn't go gentle. That doesn't negate the fact that they are gentlemen. These are gentlemen of the press, of course. All right, to my left, I have someone who is also joining us today on the program in the person of Joel Oladile. It's good to have you join us.
All right.
He's a journalist.
Nice to be here today.
Thanks for being part of the desk.
It's a pleasure.
All right. You look like somebody that just returned from Ibadan, of course.
Oh, where drama happened over the weekend.
Oh, you call it a drama? When we say peace has returned, you're calling it drama. All right.
We shall see.
And of course, to my right, I also have another gentleman of the press, another journalist right here in the person of Rex Othniel Musa. It's good to have you join us, Rex.
Thank you so much for having me. It's good to be on the decks.
Yes, well, this is the desk, and God's so kind. The desk is big enough to contain all of us.
It's wide enough, and I hope you can carry what we're about to unleash this evening.
It should. I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. It has before, and it's still going to do it again.
All right. Perhaps it doesn't. They will call for reinforcement.
Yes, of course. All right, let's quickly get into the first conversation as we take you straight up to Ibadan, where the PDP convention just heard. The weekend was so thick. Well, something spectacular happened before the convention ever got started. The arrival of guests from all parts of the country, PDP members, was something amazing. A lot of people said the convention was going to be mad because of maybe the factions that are there in the People's Democratic Party, but that wasn't the story. Fortunately enough for the People's Democratic Party, they were able to get a new chairman. PDP now have a phase, but then something happened in that convention that has been the conversation on the pages of newspaper, on the media, in the media space, as a matter of fact, and on the internet. What is it? The suspension of people that have been accused of playing anti-party in the past. After the 2023 presidential election, of course, we heard that the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, then the Governor of Rivers State, actually worked for the All Progressive Congress, as it was being alleged. I don't know if or he attested to it. That you won't hear from me right now. And that's going to form the first discussion today. The convention controversies, matters arising, especially how Turaki emerge as the People's Democratic Party chairman. Let me get started from Rex. As it is, were you expecting the expulsion of the members that were expelled? Wike, Anyangu, talk about Fayoshe, and a host of others.
Well, if you would ask me, permit me to begin by saying it's long overdue. Now, when I say it's long overdue, because now it's no news. Nigerians saw what played out during the last general election that led to the emergence and eventually swearing in of the president of the Federation, talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And in the build-up to the elections, we saw how different political candidates took their manifestos to different parts of the countries. And one thing stood out more, which was that was where everything began for the People's Democratic Party. Now, you could see where Nyesom Wike kept clamoring on. We cannot have a national chairman who when you see Rivers and you see Anambra State, it's not like they are fairly spaced. So people would have expected him to work for Peter Obi based on assumptions, but it is what it is. So expelling him from the People's Democratic Party, honestly, is long overdue, because this is one person who has kept hammering on. Okay, you said your issue was the People's Democratic Party needed to zone the presidential ticket away from the North. Yeah, and you kept hammering on that. You kept going on back and forth. Eventually, towards the beginning of this year, People's Democratic Party has said, okay, in the next general elections, they are zoning their presidential ticket back to the South. I don't know if you saw that news. So that eventually came out. And then, so if now PDP is eventually giving you what you want, so why the back and forth? What are you still going back for? What are you fighting them for? For which power? You are not the national chairman. You are not the secretary. You are not among the board of trustees. You are not among the ESCO members, which is your own. So it's long overdue, trust me. Honestly, I feel they took too long to really take the bull by the horn, but I hope this actually brings peace.
But what, in your own opinion, what do you think has actually made this suspension linger?
Lingering. Well, in my own opinion, like you said, I'll say factors like the immediate past acting chairman, quote and unquote, was said to be loyal to the FCT minister. The secretary that was fighting for seats, that left to go and contest for governor, came back and said, I did not leave it, it's my seat. That one also was loyal to Wike. And you have some other ex-governors, of course, who, like the way we say it on the streets, they get mouths. So they also were loyal to Wike. So a lot of things, and I know one ex-governor once said, Wike is not a man that you want to go face to face with, because you will always lose. So that also was part of the things. And then, well, there were procedures. You know, a political party cannot just wake up and say, we are expelling you. You need to have those people who you call leaders in the political party take these decisions. And that's why this came after the convention, because they needed to have a leader. Damagum was acting. So definitely his powers were limited. He's not like somebody who is. You know that this is your position. We elected you. We voted you into power. You are an interim chairman. You are acting in the capacity of chairman. You have some limitations to what you can do. And suspending a political party member is one of those things that you cannot carry out without the say of the BOTs when it comes to the kind of constitutions that political party carries. So now looking at the way things transpired, and that's why the convention kept lingering for this long. It didn't happen. Because he knew, inside him, the devil cannot tell me that Wike did not know that if convention took place earlier than now, this expulsion would have come earlier than now. So they kept lingering and kept fighting it, went to court say, don't carry convention. Eventually, another court, as far... Nigeria politics, it's just funny. But
PDP matter.
At the end of it, it happened, and this is where we are right now.
This is where we are right now. At the end of the day, it has happened, and this is where we are. But Joel, as it is, can we now say peace has finally returned to the People's Democratic Party, or you foresee some form of fight ahead?
I think currently we shouldn't have peace and PDP in the same sentence. That's just the simple truth of the matter. And I will make reference to one holy book that says, the thief cometh not, but to kill, to steal, and to destroy. What Wike is doing currently in PDP is what is referred to as spoiler game. That is his mission. Like my colleague rightly said, it's not there to become the chairman. It's not vying for governorship position. It's just there. It's on a mission to disrupt the party so that come 2027, APC, it will be like a walkover for the ruling party. That is obvious. Now, asking if there is going to be a sort of peace, I don't see that coming, because it is fight to finish. The main target is 2027, and we are still in 2025. So I don't see PDP coming out of this mess, let me put it that way, because it's a total mess. And let's not forget, this happened in 2027, 2020,
24.
2017, 2018 as well, between Alimadu Sharif and Ahmed McAfee. So this is not the first time this kind of situation is happening in people.
And they survived it then.
They survived it then. Can we really say they survived it? Because till then they were not able to come back to power. So I want to believe that there is a kind of force that is really making it impossible for PDP to get their house, to put their house in order, so that they won't have that strong force, you know, to wrestle power from the ruling party. So it's going to be a tough one. The battle continues. And you know, when someone that is fighting you is from outside, it's easier to fight. But when your enemy is from inside, it's very difficult. There was a time in the history of the party that the whole burden, let me put it that way, almost, don't let me say the whole, but almost 80%, 70% of the burden of the People Democratic Party was on this same former governor of Rivers State, Wike. So he knows.
So invariably, he was more like a sponsor of the party.
He was more or less the major sponsor of the party.
Could that be the reason he held the party ransom for a very long time?
Definitely, he asked them. He understands them very well. And that explains why they could not act. If Wike were to be just ordinary party member, I don't see this, expulsion just coming up this last Saturday. He has done more than enough to be expelled from this party long ago. So it's long overdue, like my colleague said. So I don't see this coming to an end very soon. It's fight to finish. And you know, he understands. I doubt if there's any politician currently in Nigeria that really knows how to play politics using judiciary like Wike.
Okay, you know, he's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer. But we still have others who are lawyers. But I really don't understand how he plays his game. But it's like he has the judiciary in his pocket. Currently, if you look at his antecedents, many of the cases he has won, it has always been, I don't want to condemn the judiciary, but then, if you look at most of the cases won by the former Rivers State governor, the current FCT chairman, minister, you understand that this one actually has the judiciary in his pocket.
If he is always connected to the judiciary, can we now say this case may likely end in court?
Definitely it will. It will. The battle has just started.
So what's going to be the implication?
If eventually he approaches the court for any... You know, there was a court judgment that said the convention must not hold. So PDP is like building their house on the air. Let me put it that way.
But I think there was a counter judgment that came after that one that said the convention shouldn't hold.
Yes.
Because the PDP as a political party also went to court after that first judgment came out saying the convention shouldn't hold. So it was after, I think the judgment came out 2 or 3 days before the weekend.
Then
because they followed it back to back. They didn't give space for anybody to say he's running to court to get a counter judgment. As soon as they got the judgment that said you can hold your convention, their convention took place. So that before you will say
another court injunction,
convention has taken place. Yes, no, there was a counter. The one
from Lamido took place in Ibadan.
Yes, the first one took place in Ibadan.
Governor Seyi
Makinde.
Then
and then PDP countered, I think, from Kebbi or so. The counter came from Kebbi, and then the one that came in from FCT actually came in on Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, and before it could be distributed as usual to whoever is supposed to get the information that convention
before processing it.
They don't plan convention will take place. So there is nothing that could happen.
So let's see how.
But also in regards to, sorry, quickly, I just want to. You spoke about McAfee's time. Now the difference between then, that time that it happened, and now is they had a lot of governors under the umbrella of the People's Democratic Party. So it was easy for peace to be brokered. at that point. It was easy where fans of this person, fans of Mr. B is calling fans of A, and they are saying, okay, for the sake of the party, let's do this. And both of them were Northerners. Don't forget that. But now in this case, these are people from different regions. And why would I say people from different regions? Because the major face of the People's Democratic Party right now is the chairman of their governors forum, talking about the governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed. He has been the one that has been at the forefront since Wike decided to turn heel on the People's Democratic Party. And when you see Wike holding down the political party, I beg to differ. Yes, he was the front runner, because we all know Wike. He's not someone that will sit in one place and keep quiet. If Wike is in this room right now, bet me 3 of us might not even have 10 minutes to speak. He's just going to be the one doing the talking. That's the kind of person he is. But back then, you had the former vice presidential candidates who contested with Atiku Abubakar and Ifeanyi Okowa. He was the governor of Delta State then. He was in the People's Democratic Party. You had Wike's allies too. I think back that PDP had about 17 governors, if I'm not mistaken, that time. 17 to 18 governors at that time. Compared to what they have now. In fact, right now, PDP has just 8.
8, yeah, they have
right
8
now,
governors now.
Just 8.
Any moment from now,
any moment from one. In fact, that 8, it is suspected to be 5, because at the convention, you didn't have Taraba State governor was not there. Fubara was not there. Adeleke was not there.
Adeleke was not there.
So these 3 governors weren't present. So it is safe to say their body language is also telling you that it's like, I am moving. In fact, over the weekend, rumors came out that Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State had decamped.
Yes, there was a rumor.
There was very strong rumor that came out, because the national chairman of the APC was in Plateau State. There was a celebration that took place in Plateau State. So people felt it was his welcoming party to the APC that took place, until a statement came out late Sunday night to debunk that rumor. Do you understand? And there's no smoke without a fire, trust me. Before the end of the year, I won't be shocked to wake up one day and see the headlines that Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State have decamped. Of course. So when we talk about the number of governors that PDP have under them right now, you will say their power is diminishing. In fact, it has diminished. It's safe to say it has diminished. So they have decided to go back to the drawing board. What can we do to build ourselves? We used to be the biggest party in West Africa, not just Nigeria. Back then, when you had Olusegun Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, PDP was a force in Africa. In fact, there was a statement that Obasanjo made recently when this Trump threat came out. Obasanjo said back in the days when he was president, America would not make any step on any part of Africa, not Nigeria, without speaking to him. But what do you have now? America can do as they please. America can come in and go out as they want. America can sit and then throw a statement and people are jiltering. Why are you jiltering if you don't have anything to cover? Why are you scared if you say you are clean? If you'd ask me.
I think we will we will get into that conversation, because it's going to also be part of what we will be talking about today. So, Joel, as it is, it means we are expecting Wike to be in court any moment from now. Since you have said he's a friend of the...
If he's not already in court, safe.
Yes. Another major ongoing of PDP is, why I say this is coming too late, is ADC factor. Majority of people we have in ADC currently came from PDP. So I really don't know how they want to bring themselves together again.
I think ADC is spending their tentacles. Yes. They just open, should I say open or launch their office in Abuja a few minutes ago. A few hours ago. So I'm looking at PDP, okay, and ADC right now. Because as it is now, if you ask me, I will tell you the All Progressive Congress does not have an opposition. No party is giving them a run for their money as it is. So,
none of them.
But with what you're saying about the People's Democratic Party right now, it means the People's Democratic Party cannot hold sway, because there is still suspicion of people defecting to the All Progressive Congress.
Yes, definitely. I think the only strong opposition we might be banking on in 2027, that's if they will be strong enough. It's ADC. I'm saying that.
So Labour Party is not a party to reckon with.
As a matter of fact, we may have a repeat of 2023 if we have two major opposition parties. We all know what we are doing. APC knows what it's doing. And that's what they actually want to achieve. We may have a repeat, or even worse, than what happened in 2023. Imagine having just PDP and APC in 2023. We won't be here saying this. The Labour Party came from the stronghold of the PDP. So we may have a repeat of that come 2027 again.
ADC,
PDP,
PDP, then
side by side,
then we have
fighting without a
APC.
common front. I don't see them flying.
All right, let's keep our fingers crossed. You want to say something about that? APC, ADC, giving APC a run for their money. But you said PDP is no more of that. That is a crashing party.
Well, first, Nigeria has always been a multi-party system. That's what we've always been operating right from time.
But there is speculation of one-party system right now because of the
Well,
defection.
that is for whoever wants to be speculating, because I would normally tell people my personal injunctions on specific things do not count when it comes to national issues. Well, because of the flock or the way people are decamping to the ruling party, it's safe to say it's heading towards a one-party system. That's all their problem, yeah? Now we have, don't forget, you have a show where it's still locking behind.
Yeah.
And people are actually not looking at things from different perspective. Yeah, they might not be able to win the elections, quote and unquote, maybe. I'm not saying they will, I'm not saying they will not. I'm just saying that these are people who are going to give the current government a run for their money. Now, why? Because there are so many things, Nigerians, all we are after, all we are concerned about is what I can get. That's the average Nigerian. I'm so sorry, but we have to call a spade a spade. We're all after what I can get. Now, why am I saying so? The same you and I that were shouting, fuel price has increased, transportation has increased. The same you and me, by the time they hit our community with campaign, we are fighting for the bag of rice that they want to bring. And when you eventually collect the bag of rice, you will now say, Mbaka Iba poster. For those that don't understand Hausa, what that means is, if not you, no one else. Do you understand? So you find it, sometimes then when you see the way people behave, you now wonder, now me and you been there suffer the past 4 years. Is it only me that was suffering? Like, I don't understand. So talking about opposition, we have good people that will eventually spring up. When you say two oppositions, Kwankwaso is still talking. Yeah, major. Looking at the last general elections, it would be safe to say we had two major oppositions aside APC. You had the PDP and the Labour Party. Those were the two major oppositions. And the way things are looking like right now, it looks like we are going to have a third opposition. Because I am also not counting Labour Party out. That is Peter Obi. I am not counting him out of this race in terms of opposition. Because, trust me, that man has been doing his homework. If you have been following Peter Obi since the last election, basically, if you have been following his trips and the kind of meetings and conventions he's been attending, that man is doing his homework. Those boxes that he didn't tick in 2023, he's ticking them right now. And that's why, if you notice, whenever the federal government wants to speak about Peter Obi, the way they speak about ADC is different from how they speak about Peter Obi. ADC, they speak with disdain, no respect. Leave them, this one are power mongers. That's how they talk about the ADC people. But when they want to talk about Peter Obi, they are attacking him with facts. You say we did not do this. Okay, we did this. So they want to let you know that what you are saying we did not do, we did. Because that is somebody who is attacking them with intelligence. He's not just coming because I'm a politician. I am not his fan. I did not vote for him. I'm a journalist. I did not vote. I was doing my work. So let somebody not feel like I am pushing or I'm blowing the trumpet. No. But I am speaking from the angle I'm looking at. Another person, like I said, another opposition might be Showore. Because he also has been doing some work that it looks like, okay, he's hitting them from the angle that they don't want to be hit. Don't forget, it was Showore that told us about the houses that Wike bought, allegedly, overseas. It was Showore that brought to our notice IGP's retirement that was extended. Did you know before? Even the government didn't want to tell us until he said it. Then before they now came out and packaged the story and gave us something. Do you understand? So the places he's hitting them is the places that they do not want to be out in the eye of the public.
All right. Well, we want to keep our fingers crossed and see what will become of the People's Democratic Party in 2027. And they said, well, the journey begins from now, even though we are in 2035, 2 more years ahead of us. But then we are moving on. The convention of controversy, that is how Turaki emerged as the PDP chairman. But do you see Turaki as the messiah of the People's Democratic Party right now? Were you expecting somebody like Turaki to emerge as the chairman? Does he have what it takes to push this very heavy truck?
Honestly, I wasn't expecting someone like him. But then, he has emerged. But the major thing is, you ask yourself, what party is being handed over to him? That's it. You know, when you have a good team, even if you are not
Is it not? Is People's Democratic Party that was handed over?
It's not a party.
An epileptic and PDP was handed over to him. So I don't see what he will try his best, but then I don't see him bringing in anything serious. For as long as the party is still being rocked with, by crisis here and there. So he inherited the fight, and he will continue to fight. And that is the target of those who orchestrated and still orchestrating the fight within the party. So he should buckle up to fight, because I don't see it coming to an end till after maybe 2027 general election.
Okay,
so he should just be prepared to fight. It's nothing serious.
So what has just happened is putting on an armor right on Turaki, weaponry.
Yes, to fight. You should be ready to fight.
Okay.
That's what he has come to.
All right. Joel has said Turaki is coming into the People's Democratic Party as a fighting chairman because there are factions to contend with, which is not far from the truth. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll look at some very vital issues, beginning from the presidency's intention to appoint ambassadors soon. Remember that Nigeria has been ambassadors-less. I don't know if that grammar is correct, meaning we've been without ambassadors all the while. But then, I think the statement from Donald Trump is becoming the beginning of wisdom in some areas right now. We'll talk more about that when we return from this break. Stay with us on the desk. As a matter of fact, so many people have said so many things from different perspectives about Nigeria not having ambassadors. And of course, how diplomatic relationship should have been built before now. But then, looking at the matters arising from the statement that came from the President of the United States of America, some people are saying it's part of the reason we need to hurry up and have ambassadors. That's a school of thought for some Nigerians. Then some people are saying, well, the United States president is on the right trajectory. He is seeing what some Nigerians are not seeing. And hence, the statement that Nigeria is a country of a particular concern. But then, calling Nigeria some form of names is what some Nigerians are not they are not in tune with those names, as a matter of fact. But then it has come to the fore on the newspaper today that the presidency is going to be appointing ambassadors soon. Can we say this is a welcome development, Rex?
Welcome development.
Why do you have to breathe very hard? You need to relax. You breathe, in fact,
I'll
before
call
you get
it a
started.
welcome development, yes. Of course, because which country wouldn't want to have a representation overseas? But I'd say, why now? Now, let me start my explanation by saying this. You have two siblings. One is the elder brother, one is younger. When the elder brother doesn't live the life as you are supposed to live, what do you expect from the younger brother? Disrespect, rudeness, probably disdain. That's what is happening in the case of Nigeria. Now, why am I saying so? Some years back, I don't know if you could recall, like 4 or 5 years back, we had country as small and close as Ghana. Ghana will stand up and tell Nigerians to leave their country. Ghana will stand up and start bombing shops of Nigerians. We had that report come until Abike Dabiri took the bold initiative then, and the ambassador of Nigeria back then, and somehow the issue was settled. Now, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say here is the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, made his statement based on facts presented to him. And don't forget, don't get it wrong, America never, ever, ever speaks until they have the numbers. They would not speak because you are speaking. They would not speak because my best friend is living in Nigeria or the ambassador is living here. If the ambassador of America wants them to speak, he presents the numbers. They only talk when they have the numbers. So when Donald Trump made that statement, it's because he had the numbers. And if you go check it, numbers do not lie. That's one. Now, on a normal norm, the standard mode of operation would be President Donald Trump would have invited the ambassador of Nigeria, who is stationed in the United States of America. Because as far as that embassy is concerned, that ambassador speaks on behalf of Nigeria's government. Any ambassador actually in any country is the #1 citizen of Nigerians in that country. Unless where your #1 citizen, which is the president, is around, maybe on official visit or something. But as far as that country is concerned, that ambassador is your president in that country. So you don't have a representation and you have somebody wanting to speak. What do you expect? It's just only fair that he passes the message direct to you. And that's what happened in the case of America. Now, because this has happened, I know countless times they've called him out to appoint ambassadors. Ambassadors, we had ambassadors when Tinubu took over. Don't forget. When he came into power, May 29th, they were ambassadors. It was 1 year after, shortly before the suspension of MFLA. That was when the ambassadors were recalled. Was it before or after MFLA itself or so? But the thing happened concurrently. That was when those ambassadors were recalled back. And when they say they recall you, that means they've taken you away from that position. And it's only fair that we expect that in worst case scenario, 3 months is what should take before new ambassadors are appointed, because of the screening process, everything that needs to be taken, and then up to this very moment. So until you are having an international backlash, even if that was not the intention, even if that is not what it's supposed to be, but still right now, it is looking like because America spoke, that's the reason why you want to have ambassadors appointed right now. When you would have saved your face of this embarrassment when you would have saved yourself of all these talks that are not supposed to be taking place at the moment? We have capable hands. What is happening? What is delaying this appointment? What is going on? What are we not hearing? Every diplomatic event, you hear the president is in France today. The president is in Somalia tomorrow. The president is in Niger the other day. What are you looking for? Why do you have ambassadors? Is it every journey that you travel to? Recently, America made a trip down to Africa. They came to Africa. But Donald Trump didn't come himself. That's the use of the ambassador you have. So when you delay your appointment, it only just don't say well about you. It's just not giving the right message that it's supposed to give about your government. And I feel, well, that's why I said it's about time. It's been long overdue, yes. It's a good step moving forward. I hope this actually helps him to get things correctly as he's hoping to.
All right. Well, let's get to you. You said it's a right move in the right direction. But then, appointment of ambassadors, did you notice any lacuna, okay, due to the absence of these ambassadors?
Definitely there will be, people who came up with the idea of having ambassadors across the world. They knew what they were doing, that there would be need for them. So if a government now comes to power and then decided to set aside jettison that, then one of the fallout is what we are currently facing with the American President, Donald Trump. So definitely there has been a kind of international relation is very important. It's crucial. You can't survive alone as a country. So you need to relate well with other countries. So in the absence of those ambassadors, I think we have like 110 of them across the world. So when you don't have those ones being put in place, then there will definitely be some lapses. And I won't be surprised if after this Donald Trump and we don't respond, I won't be surprised if another one shows up due to lack of ambassadors across the world. So President Bola Tinubu really needs to, as a matter of urgency, do something about the international relation. I was having this conversation with someone, and the person drew my attention to the fact that could it be because of the financial implication of having ambassadors? Then I went to check, trying to find out how much it will cost to finance an ambassador. Once you appoint them, they relocate, most of them relocate with their family. You are the one responsible for their upkeep, for the upkeep of their family members and everything. I can remember during the era of the regime of the late President Buhari, there was a kind of uproar that the ambassadors could not afford to pay their children's school fees. I don't know if you saw that news there. That was a kind of commotion then that they were crying out that they couldn't. I guess maybe that's what the president is trying to avoid this time around. But regardless, even if you can't appoint the whole 110 ambassadors, at least have in key places, especially a country like America. So if you can't appoint them at once, or you don't have it in mind to appoint them, or at least have few of them in strategic countries, especially like America.
So you mean if we had an ambassador in the United States of America,
yes,
maybe
this
the way...
would not have happened. There is a way...
But the statement coming from Donald Trump, what's your assessment of it?
Terrible.
Okay, terrible?
Like, I felt so bad reading that about my country. Someone addressing my country as that disgraced country. It's embarrassing. That's why I will never be in support of his invasion with quote. No doubt about it, I know this issue has been overflowed. We are aware that there are killings in this country. But you and I know that it's not limited.
There was a kidnap over the weekend, don't forget.
Yes, there was another one. 35 people died, I think, in Zamfara.
Schoolgirls were kidnapped over the weekend.
Some of them were kidnapped.
About 35 of them.
35 of them were kidnapped over the weekend.
And these kidnappers came
Broad daylight
on bike.
Not
So
night.
sometimes you'll be wondering how these people come carry out this nefarious
One good
activity.
thing that Donald Trump's, should I call it threat, will do to us is that it will make our government to sit tight. But I will like it if it just stops as a threat and it doesn't come to it.
Now that depends on the government.
It depends on the. But
True.
I think we can see their body language.
But is it an
they are now.
invasion? Did he say it's coming to invade Nigeria?
Anyway, that's the way we have been taking it. When you say
Some of the papers said it's coming to attack. Some said invasion.
invasion, because it looks
But
like
what
that.
we heard-
The language was attack, but attack not Nigeria as a country, but attack where the terrorist camp is located.
Yes.
Because the statement was they know, they see, and they hear. Do you understand? So yes, they know. So and of course, it's a threat that everybody expects that any sane government should take seriously. Now, why am I saying any sane government should take seriously? Because security is your business. That's one.
That's number one priority.
Number two, the well-being of your citizens is also your business. Now, you cannot tell me that you do not know the whereabouts of these hoodlums, like we always hear, because kidnap will take place, and in 48 hours, communication is established between the family and the kidnappers. And you, the government, you are telling me you cannot. But if me, Rex, sit on my phone and make a post on the president now, the Nigerian police will know how to find me.
Definitely. Then
Irrespective of where you are.
Irrespective of where you are in this country.
So what are you insinuating? What's
If
happening?
you pull out any government official now on social media and you say something that they expect should not be said in the public, trust me, if they waste time, if they try 48 hours, they'll pick you up.
So what are you insinuating is happening as it has to do with the terrorist attack?
They will tell us what is happening. Because we cannot insinuate. Because these same terrorists are using the same communication gadgets that we use, the phones. These same terrorists are using the same telecommunication providers that we use, the networks. Now, I have had an issue where I needed to deal with a very big, serious case, and that issue took me to a point where I had to write through the DSS to a specific telecommunication company because we needed to retrieve the communication recordings of that person that we're trying to locate. It wasn't released directly to me as an individual because no telecommunication company will do that to you. But it was released for the sake of the investigations. And they can pinpoint the location. Have you ever tried to put a car tracker on your cars? You find out that they use the same SIM card that we used to make phone calls. Some of these trackers, they have a tracker that uses the same SIM card. And that SIM card pinpoints the location of the car for you if eventually stolen.
All right.
So we have all these things in this country.
Okay.
And then you will call me from the bush, ask me for 100 million. Then the government is telling me that they don't know where you are.
All right. Something
Rex actually doesn't want
because
to
of our
insinuate.
time.
But maybe I should call it insinuation, but let me just be straightforward. If they want to nip this in the bud today, it costs them nothing. Let me give you instances. When any popular figure, political figure especially, run into any problem in this country, they always have a way to rescue them. But when it happens to common men, then we don't have government.
Let's not even go to popular figure.
So if they really want to stop this,
Don't even do popular figure.
Now, Rex, now that we are talking about this issue, on one of the papers, Gumi said he's talking to critics. Sheikh Gumi is talking to critics. He said, I committed no crime engaging bandits. That is Sheikh Gumi saying that. It's on the National Daily. It was even a headline, a big headline, the major headline.
Do you know that when we started this discussion, I honestly was praying that Gumi's name should not even come out in this conversation. Honestly.
But it was on the papers.
Because with no apology, and there is not because of any religion or anything, I am not just a fan of Gumi, since Gumi started speaking on behalf of the bandits. Now, you tell me that these people need to be treated with respect. These people need to be treated, or these people need to be spoken with. But when these people want to perpetrate their act, they don't perpetrate it with respect. Now, somebody comes into my community, slays people, burn houses, pregnant women, newborn babies, men, husbands, fathers. Then, when they want to go out, you will now say, no, don't shoot them. I'm not promoting violence, my people, but I should not shoot them. Like, what is the English you're speaking? What are you asking me to do? And the government has, time to that number, made a caricature of themselves over and over and over and over again. See, I would respect America for one thing. I'll still say it. I respect America for one thing. America tells you, I don't negotiate with terrorists, and it's not a joke.
All right. Oh, our time is up. Finally, in just 1 minute, our time is up. Joel, what would you have to say about that? Just 1 minute.
Honestly, it's quite unfortunate, like you said. And I can't really remember if I've ever come across any country in the world where a character like Gumi walks around
Freely.
All right. Well, that's the size of the conversation on the desk. I told you I have two gentlemen who know their onions, and of course, you see the way it was dished out on the desk this evening. All you have to do is keep track on the desk. The desk come on your way again on Wednesday, same time, same station. Many thanks, Rex, for joining us on the desk.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Joel, for taking our time to be here.
Nice being here.
All right, everyone out there, very big thank you for being part of the desk today. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye for now. My name is Ramsey Enoch.